Jim Croyo. I'm Superintendent of Schools, and it's my honor to welcome parents, faculty and staff, Board of Education members, relatives, friends, and above all, our honored graduates to the Jordan Elbridge High School's 52nd commencement ceremony. Today is a day of celebration and reflection on a journey that has just begun. Graduates, I know I speak for the entire faculty when I say how proud we are of each and every one of you. And I know I speak for the entire faculty when I say we love the graduating class of 2016. At this time, would you all please stand for the singing of the national anthem by 2016 graduates, Emily Keenley and Emily Corey. My privilege to make some introductions, starting with the individuals on stage. Our Assistant Superintendent for Instruction, Ms. Janice Shue. Our high school principal, Mr. David Zamer. Our Assistant Principal and Athletic Director, Mr. Mark Schimmerhorn. Principal will be presenting later, Mr. David Schaefer. Our school counselor, Ms. Jamie Cecina. I'm very proud to introduce our salutatorian for the class of 2016, Ms. Abby Google. Valedictorian for the class of 2016, Miss Emily Keenley. Passing out the roses today will be our school nurse, Roxy Sherman. I'm also very pleased that we have Board of Education members in the audience tonight. I know Miss Hugh Fordyce is here someplace. She is her son graduating. Dr. Michael Geralman. Our Board of Education President, Mr. David Galera. You know, when I was coming up with some remarks that I wanted to make to the senior class, I was sitting out in the patio with my wife, And I said, you know, I think I'm going to pattern my remarks after a song that I listened to on the radio. And she started laughing because I've never been one to really listen to song lyrics. How many of you listen to the radio regularly, but you don't really know what the song's about? That's me. I can't tell you what a song's about. You know, I like the tune, but I really don't know what it's about. My wife listens to every single word. She can tell you what every song is about. And nothing really showed the difference between my wife and I more, because on our anniversary, we went out and I went to the jukebox and I played the song to all the girls I've loved before. Because I knew she liked Willie Nelson. So I came back to the table like, really? This is the song? So when I told her I was listening to the Tim McGraw song, Humble and Kind, she just laughed. She goes, now you're listening to lyrics. But that song really struck a chord with me. It's called Humble and Kind, and the reason for that is that the song is about young people that are about to enter the world and leave home for the first time, like many of our graduates here today. So I thought I would use that song, those lyrics, to kind of frame some remarks for today. The song begins by emphasizing the importance of home and family. Don't forget that the key is under the mat. Go to church because your mama says so. Visit grandpa every chance you get. In your journey through life, always keep the loved ones close to you. And never forget where you came from. And of course, always stay humble and kind. Hold the door, say please, say thank you. Don't steal, don't cheat, don't lie. Treat others like you would like to be treated. When your goals and accomplishments are realized, take pride in your accomplishments, but always stay humble and kind. Don't expect a free ride from no one. Don't hold a grudge or a chip and here's lie. Bitterness will keep you from flying. People are going to do things that upset you just about every day. Let it go. There are two things that people who hold on to bitterness have in common. They are miserable and nobody wants to be around them. Not necessarily a recipe for success. Remember that there is good in everyone, and always stay humble and kind. I love you ain't no pickup line. Forge real, healthy relationships, and stay with individuals that support your dreams and your aspirations. And always stay humble and kind. Don't take for granted the love this life gives you. Enjoy the journey of life. Accomplishment is great. It's wonderful. But the journey to those goals and dreams is what makes one's life extraordinary. Don't fall into the I'll be happy when trap. I'll be happy when I graduate from high school. I'll be happy when I graduate from college. I'll be happy when I get that first job. I'll be happy when I get married. I'll be happy when I have kids. I'll be happy when the kids move out. I'll be happy when I retire. Enjoy all life has to offer. Life is a gift, squeeze every drop out. I'm going to end with a quote that I don't listen to song lyrics, but I do read the back of t-shirts. And I found this quote in a snowmobiling magazine, and when I saw it, I had to go and buy a couple of t-shirts because I think this quote kind of summarizes the fact that you should live life in a meaningful way, not in a reckless way, but in a meaningful way, and enjoy every moment of it. So it goes like this. It's actually from a company called Reaper, where they have skull and crossbones on all their stuff. My life is not a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a pretty, well-deserved body, but rather, I will skid in broadside, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, wow, what a ride. Congratulations to the class of 2016. Stay humble and kind. It's now my pleasure to introduce Mr. David Schaefer, who will do the Wall of Honor presentation.
Good morning, everyone. What a wonderful day as we send this group of young men and women off to the next stage of their life's journey. I've got a little double, triple role here today, and I want to take just a minute to talk about how much I've enjoyed this group of kids. I didn't just have them in middle school. I started with them in t-ball, Little League softball, Little League baseball, Little League basketball. I've officiated their lacrosse games. I was with them for a few years in the middle of their limited life, and I've had a number of them in my home as guests, and I've enjoyed them thoroughly, and I want you guys all to know that, and I want to wish you all the best. I'm pretty sure right now we're going to get the waterworks going for the first time today. 47 years ago today, the graduation year at Jordan Elbridge High School, and the recipient of this year's Wall of Honor. Come on up, Roxy Sherman. And in that time, Roxy served 8 years as middle school nurse, and then another 12 years as the high school nurse. She's rounding out 20 years of service to Jordan Elbridge School District, and she'll be retiring today. Roxy, as she is fondly known, has been a school nurse, as I said, for 8 years at middle school and 12 years at the high school. Now, when we speak of Roxy as a school nurse, we don't just mean Band-Aids and Tylenol. Roxy's performed the duties of a grief counselor, a financial counselor, a relationship counselor, an overall general therapist for students, faculty, and I can attest for administrators alike. Roxy's best claim is probably practicing psychiatry without a license. She really can read people. Over the years, Roxy's been in charge of the middle school yearbook, the high school yearbook. Oh, that was my first middle school yearbook. Oops, it was a little late, Rox. Students didn't turn in their baby pictures, so Rox held the yearbook. And she was being kind. Not smart, but kind. And I show up in August, and the first phone call I get is, Mr. Schaefer, this is so-and-so. Do you know where my child's yearbook is? Uh-huh. Well, they came along in September and we had a party. Roxy, most importantly, served our students' needs in the immediate moment. She could read kids like a book. She knew what they needed, and she provided that. I remember many years ago, Roxy spending time with a group of 8th grade students when one of their classmates' fathers had died unexpectedly. And I just wandered in her office, and she had 4 or 5 kids there with her. And just amazing. how she put those kids back together and helped them get through that difficult day. Just still remember it like it was yesterday. She was a great listener, still is a great listener, and many classes of kids will fondly remember the kindness and compassion. That doesn't mean Rox was a pushover, especially for an administrator. She told kids what they needed to hear, even if they didn't always like the message. However, when they walked away, they always knew that the delivery of the message was really in their best interest. Now, Rox did a lot of things, and I could list them and take longer than the ceremony. She's run graduation, she's run moving up ceremonies, she's done fundraising, she's done a lot of fundraising. It occurred to me that a while into working with Rox that not only she just raised money and brought in the cash and she gave it to the administrator to figure out what to do with it and how to do the bookwork. She didn't really do much with that credit debit sheet. I once thought she just didn't care what the auditors thought about her fundraising activities. What I really found out is she doesn't even believe auditors exist. But when we needed something, we always had it. When a fire took place in a student's home and they needed a trip to Walmart for some just startup belongings, there was some cash around that we could use. And those days are behind us, unfortunately. This year, we're going to have a new nurse in September at Middlesbrough, the high school. I believe she's going to be a great nurse. But there will be a void for the kids as they miss their friend and advocate, Roxy, as she's had an impact on so many students' lives. She'll be remembered for a long time and missed dearly. Roxy, your place on the wall of honor is well deserved. It will stand the test of time. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. But I am the one that's honored. I'm honored to have the love of all of these kids, past and present. I love them like their own. The only thing I can say is, I love you for always. I like you forever. As long as I'm living, my babies you'll be. Thank you again.
It is with great pleasure that I introduce to you the valedictorian and salutatorian duo of Emily Keenley and Abigail Lulu. Emily will be attending SUNY Binghamton in the fall, where she'll be majoring in biology and pre-med. Abby is the daughter of Paul and Kathleen Lulu of Georgia. Abby will be attending Boston University to major in human physiology. Emily and Abby are happy to announce that their mothers, Christine and Kathleen, will be receiving their official helicopter parents pilot's licenses. As they are awarded their gold rotors with the highest honors. As the girls were trying to prepare and surprise everyone with a joint speech for their moms, we're putting roadblocks up all along. Surprise, you are both getting your wish. They're giving a joint speech.
morning, and welcome. You may be wondering if you've attended the wrong event, or you may be asking yourself, is this graduation or a circus?
Usually the goal is to graduate from a bicycle to a car by junior year.
And no, it's not that we missed the memo.
Actually, this began when we were high school freshmen. We made a pact, one that reared its head in times of controversy, in the face of challenges, and when we were in hot water.
We told each other that no matter what happened, once we walked this stage, we would grab our bikes and ride to California. After all of the graduation parties with free cake, that is.
We never thought that the day would actually come, but now here we are, living out this pact, ready to conquer the many miles ahead, the uphills and the detours. You see, we didn't always dream of California. It wasn't some kind of bucket list thing, or even a celebration for graduating high school.
Unlike most people, we didn't dream of California because of the warm weather, cute boys, or beautiful beaches. We'll tell you later why we dreamed of California, but first we will enlighten you on the circumstances that provoked this wild idea.
It was freshman year, and we were not prepared for the uncharted territory of high school. This was not something that index cards could prepare a person for, much to Miss Emily King's chagrin.
It was madness, getting preyed on and called fresh meat by the seniors, and the trauma of nearly dislocating our shoulders trying to win tug-of-war at pre-test de-stress day still hasn't quite subsided. We had hoped back then that when we were seniors we would redeem ourselves, but that's one thing that didn't go as planned.
Maybe it was all of Mr. Price's
Diaspora!
theatrics that inspired us to spread our wings and fly.
Although the plan remained intact all through high school, that we would bike to California the summer after graduation, and we had 4 years to work out the logistics, we never put too much planning into it. We would like to think that the planning never got very far because we were living in the moment, but let's be honest, we are professional procrastinators.
But we did manage to pack the bare essentials, the key items that we believe will help us on our journey to California and can also help the class of 2016 on this great adventure we call
Life. The first item that we packed for California is an obvious necessity for the Sunshine State, a pair of sunglasses. We all know that sunglasses are meant to be worn on the brightest of days. Today is definitely one of those days, as 84 motivated and inspired young adults officially take their next step in their lives.
They have the talent, determination, and character to make big things happen, and they have made that clear during their time here at JE. Since they are not at all the type to boast about themselves, we will do it for them. In this tiny class of 84 students, there are many people that deserve to be celebrated.
Among us on the stage are students who have achieved high levels in art, music, science, athletics, and much more.
Pretty much anything that they have set their minds to.
We can definitely attribute this to the JE community, all the teachers, parents, and family members that supported us while we pursued our passions. We celebrate athletes.
We all know that Ben Paquette is one of the class clowns, but when it comes to swimming, he is super serious. Getting up at 4 a.m. each morning really paid off for him, big time. He has gone to the national championships and will be swimming Division I at Canisius College in the fall. Here on the stage, we celebrate artists.
Tatum Carlick won a gold key on the national level for her drawing. This award was presented to her at the one and only Carnegie Hall. She will be taking her skills to the next level as she trains to become a professional makeup artist for Hollywood productions.
This year, the drawing and painting classes participated in the Memory Project. Lexi Frizzell, Alex Kiesnowski, and Emily Garlock all created portraits for orphans in countries all around the world. The Memory Project sends photos back to the artists afterwards to show the difference that they made for these children, and the joy on their faces was genuine when they received their portraits. Stand that up, girls.
Next time you visit the Rosamond Gifford Zoo, make sure to keep an eye out for Sierra Van Heesch's photography, which is showcased there. But her talents are not just limited to art. I think we can all remember how scared we became of hand railings and doorknobs after her study on bacterial colonies in AP biology. This leads us into our science-minded classmates.
We celebrate George Richardson, Patrick Fordyce, and Russell Hines, who managed to create informative AP Chem videos through their use of knowledge, wit, and rapping skills.
Deanna Kinney, who extensively researched diabetes and will continue her efforts to make life-saving changes through either a career in medical research or as a pharmacist. We celebrate actors and musicians.
Among us is a professional drummer, Sean Ferguson. This is pretty cool for all of us as we watched him go from a pencil-tapping elementary school kid to a performer with downbeat percussion at professional sporting events like the Buffalo Bills games.
And we have two absolutely incredible actors here on the stage who are recognized as the best lead and best supporting actors in all of Central New York. Blake Trexler and Lucas Ivey, who never failed to amaze.
And together as a class, we have worked to do some pretty amazing things as well. As 10th graders, Mrs. Horgan challenged us to take the 11th grade Common Core exam. We had a 100% pass rate, which speaks not only to our classmates for their determination, but also to Mrs. Horgan for preparing us an exam that was meant for students a year older than we were.
This year was the first year of the new program JE Cares, which has become a part of Student Council. The JE Cares group offers not only financial assistance, but also emotional support to families in our community who are impacted by cancer or other hardships.
We also logged over 500 hours of community service for our government class just in this school year.
But what makes our classmates so special isn't just their achievements, the awards they've won, and the recognition they have received. It's who they are as people.
It's the way they chant, Larry, Larry, as Lamachism represents our class in the Face the Cookie Challenge during pre-test Easter Day. And he's never let us down.
Stand up, Matt. And it's the way that all of the senior boys on the basketball team came out for the musical and then cried on senior night as we took our last bow.
This group of kids knows how to invest in their studies, their athletics, their musical endeavors, and also they know how to invest in others.
And for this reason, the future is bright for all of you. Get your sunglasses ready, class of 2016.
Not only do you need your sunglasses, though, for the brilliance of the future possibilities, but also for experiencing the emotions that come with transitional periods in life like these. We have a little story for you, which I'm sure a lot of you up here on the stage can remember.
In 6th grade, as we came to the end of Where the Red Fern Grows, Mr. Depot asked us to bring in our sunglasses to read the last chapter. We wore our sunglasses to cover our tears. Later, we realized the purpose behind wearing your sunglasses. When you put them on, you give yourself permission to just let go. Your tears, laughs, whatever you're feeling. When you wear your sunglasses, you can live life authentically.
The end of high school has certainly been an emotional roller coaster. In our final week of school, all of the lasts just snowballed their way into Emily O'Brien. No one really knew what to do or how to act as she sobbed uncontrollably. For the surprise element of this speech, we were not able to tell Annalie to just wear her sunglasses.
However, now we can.
So Annalie, put on those shades and let loose.
If you look around the audience, you'll probably see moms tearing up as it sets in that their little ones are not so little anymore. Or perhaps feeling relieved that their kid is finally going to have to figure out how to do their own laundry.
Some dads are contemplating how many burgers to grill for the upcoming graduation parties, and some hide their tears. Oh, I mean, allergies.
Siblings are already planning how to create the ultimate master suite by taking down the wall between bedrooms, aka Daniel.
Emily's not leaving for good. She's going to come back and get her room. Grandparents are smiling with pride, cherishing yet another memory shared.
Our friends here on the stage are filled with joy over the completion of high school.
Every person in this auditorium, from the students up here on the stage to our loved ones in the audience, is experiencing this moment slightly different. And that's okay. It's okay for you to cry as the person on your left smiles, for you to feel nostalgic while the person on your right feels relieved. This moment is yours to be felt and yours to be expressed.
If you need to cry, put on those sunglasses and let the Nile River materialize in your lap. If you are blinded by the bright future that lies ahead, then wear your sunglasses with pride. For any reason and for any time in your life, never forget to keep your sunglasses by your side.
As we begin this journey, we're not completely sure of the way. And for a lot of us graduates here today, we aren't completely sure of the way on the journeys that we will embark on in the next few months. A lot of us aren't sure which career path to take, or what major to study in college. The best way to navigate the bumpy roads that lie ahead is by using the best resources in the whole entire world, the people in our lives.
So here we have a contacts list. And if you're old school, feel free to use one of these. And for all of the millennials here, it's called a phone book. Whether you use the handy-dandy contacts app on your smartphone or this ancient thing, your connections will always be a lifeline in times of uncertainty. Our contacts list is a support system comprised of the people in our lives that we know we can call on for assistance.
In our journey through high school, we have called on our teachers, families, and friends who have helped us to reach this destination, graduation. Remember to never forget your contacts, your support system and guide as you venture out on the next chapter in life.
On our trip to California, we will be using our contacts list whenever we run into trouble.
Who better to turn to than our friends up here on the stage, who will never judge us when we call on the strangest predicaments.
And of course, we will meet new people to add to our list as we make our way across the country and expand our support system, but here are some we know we can rely on.
Abby Schaefer, we could have used your large event planning skills years ago when we thought of this trip. I guess we'll have to win your count.
Josh Simmons and Corey Kittle, you guys are going to have to hook us up with some cool computer technology. Maybe build a GPS into our bikes to help us navigate.
Dominic Smith, Logan Schwarting, Sam Robles, and Colin Bard, when our chains become a little rusty and our tires go flat, we'll call you to give our bikes a tune-up.
Bennett Fraser, if we start to miss having a chatterbox around, we will be sure to phone you.
Taylor Rivenberg and Tyler Scott, with your engineering skills, you could develop some flying capabilities for our bikes. That way, we can go the way the crow flies over the Great Salt Lake.
Brandon Lyons and Michael Auer, our future FBI agents. If we run into some sketchy people out here, we'll call you to figure out their motives. If we end up being the sketchy ones, please look the other way.
Lucas Ivy, as we scale the Rockies, the lactic acid buildup will reach its maximum capacity. We may need to call you in need of a little pick-me-up airplane ride.
Ryan Boomerang Whiteside. Eventually, we will need caffeine to boost our energy and morale. We hope that when you are CEO of Dunkin' Donuts, you will give us a few cups of free Joe.
When we finally make it to California, it's very possible we may find ourselves involved in a rap battle with Cali natives. If this becomes the case, T-Fizzy, you will be the first one we call.
Oh, and Robbie Alcock, we may need to borrow your boombox.
Just like on our journey to California, we have used a support system throughout our K-12 journey in JE.
During the past 13 years, each and every one of us has built a contact list. Valuable connections that saved us when we got into sticky situations, or just when we needed a friend to lend a listening ear. The more we leaned on each other, utilizing that contact list, the stronger our friendships became.
13 years is a long time to be together. And it's not just any 13 years, but the most dynamic 13 years of our lives. The years we transitioned from being nose-picking, tattling rugrats to being ready to leave our parents' basements, or at least they hope.
These bonds are tougher than the gum under our third grade desks must be by now. No offense to the custodians, but that stuff was like Gorilla Glue.
Our connections to one another are stronger than Anna Bosey and Nick Callanan's skin must be after getting pelted by about 1 million lacrosse balls over their goalie careers.
Hashtag Go Wells! We're a family now, and we know each other better than we know ourselves. This all-knowingness allows us to help one another when we are too stuck to even ask for help. This is definitely an advantage of our small school.
We may not have another opportunity like this to bond with 84 people by spending 13 years together, but we do know how to form connections with people in the blink of an eye, to add another person to our list of contacts, and to add ourselves to theirs as well. Through growing up in such a small, close-knit community, we have learned how to find common ground with anyone.
We're going to need this skill to be able to find common ground and work on a team as we enter the workforce. The problems we will strive to find solutions to will require teamwork and drawing in experts from all different fields. This should be looked at as an exciting time because who knows more about collaboration than the JE class of 2016? Mrs. O'Malley, we use the buzzword collaboration just for you.
As we graduate high school and go our separate ways, we will expand our support systems to include more people, and this will help us make positive and lasting changes in our local communities and beyond.
But remember that your high school classmates, teachers, and the Jordan Elbridge community will always be on your list of contacts, because no matter what, we are always a family.
And similarly, no matter what, if you ask anyone what they want to be in life, their answer would simply be to be happy.
Happiness is not only something that we strive to feel on a daily basis, but also something that we try to secure for our future selves.
Ironically, we learned one of the easiest ways to secure happiness in the present and for the future, and one of the places least likely to breed happiness, sitting with our fellow seniors in cold, hard, metal desk chairs in economics class on a Monday morning at 8 o'clock a.m.
Mr. Avery was our Mod 1 teacher, and every morning he came in with a smile on his face. You may ask, how is Mr. Avery capable of teaching economics first thing on a Monday morning with a smile on his face?
The answer, as simple as it sounds, comes in the form of a Wegmans chocolate chip cookie.
It broke, but...
And no, the key to Mr. Avery's happiness is not eating the Wegmans chocolate chip cookie first thing in the morning, as tempting as it sounds.
Even though Mrs. McClurg has mathematically proven that a healthy dose of ice cream in the morning has a positive correlation with energy and pizzazz throughout the day.
During a lesson on the free market, Mr. Avery once told us about his grocery shopping experiences. Of course, Wegmans became the topic of discussion, as it has been ranked among the top grocery chains in America.
No offense, Tops.
He noted that whenever he entered the store, his wife picked up on his sudden change in mood. She said his face lit up. Why?
He saw the Wegmans chocolate chip cookies. Some might ask, how can something so simple change a person's mood?
Well, what we want to ask you is, why shouldn't the simple joys in life make you happy?
Let something as simple as a cookie brighten your day. A trip to Wegmans, a small act of kindness that someone showed you, a walk with your dog. These things may seem insignificant, but when you take to appreciating little events in your day like these, you will find that opportunities for happiness are everywhere.
That doesn't mean that you're going to wake up on the right side of the bed every day and hit all green lights on the way to work. Some days are just not going to be good. But while every day isn't always good, there is good in every day. And never forget that. It's there if you look for it.
When you adopt the mindset of looking for the joy in everyday life, others will do the same. Your positive energy will take over your life and the lives of those around you.
Take time to smell the flowers.
And take time to savor the cookies.
As tall as we grow and as far as we travel, our roots won't move. They will stay here with the people who taught us, loved us, and gave us our eagle wings.
When we make it across the plains and through the Rockies all the way to California, we are going to be sending postcards back home. They will say a little something like this.
Mom, Biking across the country is risky, and I know you were apprehensive about me going, but you let me go. Even though you were scared to let me ride my bike to the store by myself for the first time, scared for me to run the steeplechase for fear that I would break my leg, or a little nervous for me to move to a big city in the fall, you have always let me go. Let me spread my wings and fly. Look at where I am. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Thank you.
Dear Dad, there were a lot of times on this trip to California that I felt like giving up. When it was cold and rainy, when I was living off of Pop-Tarts, when we got flat tires. But whenever I started to think I can't, I just thought of you putting Mr. Google in his place when we were in middle school. He thought he won the Best Breakfast Chef Award for our sleepovers with that French toast, but your chocolate chip pancakes totally toasted him. I just think of that when I'm down, and I pull myself up by my bootstraps. You always made me work for what I wanted in life, and now I realize that you gave me a great gift. You gave me tenacity, and you gave me determination. Look at where I am. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Thank you.
You see, these postcards are a way of letting those important people in our lives know that as far as we travel and as much as we achieve, we are still thinking of them. My dad always told me, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. A postcard goes a long way in acknowledging the people that helped us to reach our destination, and to thank them.
On our journey throughout school, so many people poured their energy, time, and love into us. They invested in us and were dedicated to our success as students and as people.
So, in keeping with the spirit of travel, here are a few postcards for the heroes that helped us on our journey to graduation and have set us up for happiness and success in our future travels, our teachers.
You didn't just teach us your course material. You got to know us as people, and we could always turn to you for a host of things.
Miss Rump, we could always count on you for a good book recommendation. Follow E. Rump on Goodreads, everyone. She's a history teacher, but could easily be a professional book club advisor.
Mrs. Corrigan, Mrs. Nivison, Roxy, and Mrs. Steepa, you were motherly figures for all of us in high school. I don't think that there's a single kid up here that didn't at some point either cry on your shoulder, learn a valuable life lesson, or get scolded by you, or all three.
Mr. Sinclair, you are a jack of all trades. Whether it's math, making videos and slideshows, coming up with nifty new pre-test de-stress games, or rallying the entire school for the ugly beard contest, you are a keystone in the faculty. The high school will miss you greatly, and so will we.
Miss Mead, you provided us with one-of-a-kind animal therapy. If we ever needed to pet a squirrel or be entertained by a turtle falling off of its rock, we knew we could come to you. You also had the best lessons, like learning the moon phases by scraping the filling out of Oreos. Looking back on it, your class was the best.
Our sports fanatics, Mr. Miller, will all miss watching you crush everyone in the Christmas volleyball tournament. And Mr. McCandless, we all know that the Pittsburgh Steelers fans will always have a place to celebrate in your classroom.
Shem, all of the girls in physics class would get super stressed out for exams. Shem would give each of us a My Little Pony to keep on the corner of our desk to relieve our stress. And I think that we will never be able to forget impulses change in momentum. For some reason, if you jump up and down and yell this phrase at the top of your lungs, it just becomes embedded in your memory.
Mr. Sibley, although you may look like a movie star, it is your humility that sets you apart from the rest.
The list could go on and on. To make a long story short, JE teachers, you are the best.
Class of 2016, remember that as far as you travel, whether it's California or Wheatsport, always make sure you send a postcard back home to the people that made it possible.
And on behalf of the whole class of 2016, thank you to the teachers, parents, grandparents, siblings, friends, family friends, and everyone in between. Look at where we are. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Thank you.
We told you in the beginning, about 4,000 words ago, that there was a reason reason that we dreamed of California.
Besides the warm weather, cute boys, and beautiful beaches.
The real reason that we dreamed of California is that California is the farthest distance that we could travel on land in the U.S. We wanted to reach as high and as far as we could. Now, we hate to break this to you, but we aren't actually starting that trip this summer. Jack, don't get your bike out yet.
Mom, you can stop worrying now. Daniel, you can stop celebrating. I'm not going that far away. We'll let Abby Schaefer work out the finer details before we begin that journey. But even though we're not going on our trip to California right now, as we had planned 4 years ago, we're thankful that we dreamed. And we want all of you to dream as well.
It might be scary, but reach as far as you possibly can. Take that leap of faith. Jesse Owens once said that you never know what you can do until you try. So try new things. Who cares if you fail? You may just surprise yourself.
We'll always live in the spirit of cross-country biking, because California Dreamin' is all about grabbing life by the reins, spending quality time with good company, going as far as your bike will take you, and enjoying yourself while you're at it.
No matter where in life you choose to go, remember to bring your sunglasses for the brilliant possibilities that lie ahead and for the emotions that coincide it.
Remember your contact list for the times where you need guidance and support, and call on those people to show you the way.
Remember your Wegmans chocolate chip cookies.
If you're really opposed to Wegmans, I mean, Chips Ahoy would suffice.
But remember the cookies, to savor life, to enjoy those little things, and to startle those around you with your radiating positivity.
And last but certainly not least, equip yourself with dozens of postcards. When you reach those mile markers in your journey through life, let your family, friends, and fan club know so that they can celebrate you and you can thank them.
On any journey, whether it's a cross-country bike trip to California, training to join the armed forces, or going back to school, you are going to have to push yourself.
A lot of life is about pushing through. You are going to have to push through when you're tired, when it gets hard, when you have nothing left in the tank. But don't give up.
And definitely don't say, good enough. Mr. Ahern used to tell us during band practice, good enough is never good enough. We're kind of like the good enough is never good enough generation.
And there are a lot of things in life that you can't control.
But you can control how hard you try, how kindly you treat others, and how much love and positivity you pour into the world.
When you control these worthwhile pursuits, giving them your all and not letting good enough suffice, it makes it a life well lived, my friends. Thank you.
I would like to call forward Lucas Ivy, Emily Corey, and Alexis Brazel for musical selection. Mr. Froyo, I am proud to present these candidates for graduation from Georgian Elbridge High School. I certify that they have met all requirements established by the New York State Board of Regents and the Georgian Elbridge Central School District Board of Education to receive these certificates. I want to encourage parents, relatives, friends to celebrate each graduate as they receive their diploma and give them the recognition they deserve for that achievement. Applauding each graduate is encouraged. Robert John Alcott. Michael Lee Howard. Melissa Lynn Baker. Colin Matthew Favre. Talia Baum. Bailey David Burke. Brendan James Burke. Anna Kathleen Posey. Lauren Elizabeth Byrne. Kayla Ann Charamonte. Lawrence Matthew Chisholm. Rebecca Lynn Clark. Emily Elizabeth Corey. Brandon Lee Downing. Adrian Shea Downing. Emily Patricia Drake. Greg Donald Edwards. Tyler Christopher Fedrizzi. Tessa Jordan Fellows. Sean Henry Ferguson. Felicia Alexandra Fiacco. Patrick Allen Fordyce. Bennett Hugh Frazier. Alexis Paige Frizzell. Miranda Sandra May Fuller. Emily Marie Garlock. Abigail Grace Google. Nicholas Robert Hallinan. Cody Terrence Panchin. Jihad Harzala. Russell Henderson Hines. Kyle Allen Humberstone. Lucas Maxwell Ivy. Kayla Marie Jankowski. Tatum Ryder Carter. Delaney Leah Keenan. Brianna Nicole Carrick. Alexandria Marie Kaznowski. Deanna Lynn Kinney. Corey Joseph Kittle. Carly Marie Knapp. Corey Jennifer Scott. Emily Rose Keenly. Brandon Michael Larkin. Brendan Patrick Lyons. Brandon Michael McFitz. Jacob Patrick Manbro. Demery Jane Marsh. Bradley Robert Marshall. Cameron Mary Monette. Austin Jonathan Mott. Annalie Destiny O'Brien. Christopher James O'Hara. Anthony John Ortiz. Zachary Tyler Pangaro. James
Paquette. Courtney Justine Peters. Brandon Davis Phelps. Jordan Michael Phillips. Jennifer Marie Lasinik.
George Murphy Richardson III. Taylor John Weidenberg. Samuel Lewis Roble. Logan Oscar Schwarting. Tyler Michael Scott. Tori Rose Segreto. Abigail Marie Schaefer. Cordell Jacob Sherwood. Joshua Austin Simmons. Brendan Robert Slater. Dominic Dylan Smith. Caitlin Amber Spencer. Brianna Marie Stark.
Please stand and join us for the singing of the J.E. Alma Mater. Mike Traxler and Lucas Lighting will lead us. The words are printed on the back of your program.